What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hambone Fishing. Today we are talking about the Titan Propel 12 from Native Watercraft. That is my boat of choice. That is the boat that I do all of my tournament fishing in and all of my fishing in, really, at this point. Just a quick walkthrough, something that, you know, if you're new to the market or you just picked up one of these, kind of some things to think about, some things to possibly use for your customization of the kayak, and kind of some tips and tricks on what to do. Let's get into it. Alright, so first we are going to start with the front of the kayak and we'll work our way back. So, front of the kayak, I keep my rope up here just to tie off to the dock. Because this kayak you can launch straight into the water, tie it up to the dock, and step into it from the dock. You don't have to put it in the water and then wade out and climb into this kayak. It's super stable. I can stand on one foot in it without any problems. I have never even once been concerned about it flipping or anything. So stability on this kayak is unparalleled. I mean, there are other kayaks, you know, some of the Hobies, the PA 14s and 12s stuff that are really stable as well. Again, no issues with stability. I'm 6'1", 225, 6 foot, 6'1", 225. I have zero issues in this kayak. You're not gonna have any issues with stability, I promise you. So, rope here, super high tech. When I am fishing, I do like to keep my net up in front. I don't like reaching back for my net. It's just kind of complicated. When the drive is in the water, this lays flat and the net is right in front of me, easy to grab and scoop a fish up. So that's what I'm using. That's where I keep my net. We'll move this out of the way. Here's the front hatch, opens like this, tons of space in here. You won't have any issues as far as space or where to put things. They do make an insert for this now. I don't have it. I don't know that I really need it right now. If you look in here, this is where I keep my wiring for my graph, but all the space, forgive the mess. So you could put some stuff in here just to kind of block things from sliding back, but I don't usually have too much of an issue. Moving back, we have the drive. This is a Yak Attack paddle holder, and this again is what I keep. This is how I keep my paddle from going all over the place. It locks in here, it's out of the way. I don't have any issues. These are the upgraded pedals from Native. And they did send me some Gen 2 crank arms. I would highly recommend that. Also, a huge problem that a lot of people seem to have is that they are constantly getting a clicking noise on out of their drive. The number one culprit is these crank arms are loose. You have to wench on these things to get them tight, just as hard as you can to get them tight, and you won't have that issue anymore. The second issue is the locking nut inside. That requires obviously the spanner wrenches to get in there. Native has a bunch of videos on YouTube on how to correct this and how to redo all that. And honestly, it's too much of an issue to get into it in this video. So we'll save that for another video. So this is my transducer wire that goes to my graph. I keep this mounted on the drive, on the cavitation plate. I do need some stainless steel nuts and bolts, but that's kind of where it is. I use the Hobie through hull wiring kit. This is the smaller one. This is the one that screws on in the back. Big, very important update there. If you can reach the area that you're trying to go through, get the screw on. If you can't, like over here, I can't reach all the way over here to get to this. There's 3 screws, and that's the one you want if it's in a place where you can't reach to screw the thing on the back. I keep my battery back here. As I said, nothing too fancy there. This tray comes out. This is where I keep a lot of like the used soft plastics that I throw away, or something that I'm not using at the moment, you know, cut off a shaky head or something. Cup holder here, nothing too fancy there. I never use that because it's in my way. The seat, this whole platform will pop out of there, and it's got a ton of storage underneath. This is my fancy soft plastics box. Ziploc has been a huge supporter of me throughout my fishing career, so thought I'd throw that in the video. This is where I keep my dry box. I got my wallet, keys, you know, toilet paper, fishing license, all that kind of stuff in there. Anything you don't want to get wet. So that stuff slides out of there, out of my way. The fishing platform here is very open. I've got a rod holder there on the track mounting. There's track mounting on both sides. I keep a camera here. So when I'm fishing tournaments, obviously I need to measure my fish, and I use the catch board. That's going to be the only board that's one of the only boards that's allowed next year in this trail. So I keep that board here out of the way. Just kind of slides there. I don't have to worry about this breaking because it ain't going anywhere. I promise you that. And I have it fastened because these don't float. So just a little paracord. And when I am fishing, I just lay this flat. When I'm measuring a fish, I'll put my foot under this portion here with this flip it to stabilize everything. I used to clip fish. I don't seem to have to clip fish anymore. I have been using this for the entire year. Well, just about the entire year. I don't put it in my lap. I put it down on the deck of the kayak, and I've had fish flop in every which direction. Haven't lost any yet, knock on wood. So it's been fine for me. I haven't had any issues. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. Clip your fish if you can, if it's allowed. Don't lose fish. It sucks. Trust me, I've had it happen. It sucks. Moving on, here is some other storage on the seat. There's, I just have a hook sharpener, wacky tool, clippers, pliers. I got my leader material under here. This is a great spot for just kind of random stuff that you need throughout the day. There's a rod holder here, cup holder, and just showing you in relation here. The seat, we'll use a pad here. One thing I would probably get are some seat risers. Just being taller, the seat risers would go right here, and it gets you up off the water a little bit more. It can be more beneficial in some instances, especially if you're taller. And you just, it makes it easier to stand up. So Native has these super convenient paddle holders here for your paddle in case you ever need it. Back here in this space, I keep my drinks, anything on the water. I haven't, obviously we'll get back here, but you could put a cooler back here, but you need something along this area to rise up so that your rudder cables aren't being hindered by your whatever you've got on there. So if you want a cooler on here, you got to get it elevated up so this has free range of motion. All right, so we've talked about the front of the kayak, kind of the fishing area, the seat. Another big one that I don't think a lot of people think about, these handheld paddles that I just keep right next to me here in the kayak. This is where I keep my phone too. It's kind of a nice little spot. These little paddles here, this is the Assault backwater paddle. Backwater assault paddle, something like, anyway. This thing is great for getting you out of a tight situation. Let's say you're stuck between a dock and the bank and you just can't quite get, you can use this and it's pretty easy to get you out of any type of a situation that you might be in. You can pull yourself closer to things, push yourself away from things, and you don't have to get your paddle out or use your rod or whatever else. So, all right. This is my camera stand. I do have a video on that as well, as far as a full depth look at my filming setup, so I'm not going to get into that here. I use the native landing gear. Make sure if you get the Titan that you get the Titan legs, the one with the extended legs, because otherwise you will not be able to use it. I like the landing gear. It's probably one of the best parts of the kayak as far as ease of use. And you just pop this thing out of the truck and load it down, pop it into the water, and then when you're off the water, when you're coming out, especially in the summer when the ramp is super busy and everybody's, tensions are high, everybody's got a ton of anxiety and trying to get out on the water as quickly as possible, you can roll up, wait your turn, pop your wheels down, just shoot right up there, pull it out, get everything out of the way so that you don't have to worry about it, and then go get your truck, bring it down, or just wheel the thing to your truck. Now, like I said, this thing is heavy when it comes to loaded down, fully rigged out. It's about 125 pounds with nothing on it. So if you get everything on it, it gets a little heavy. So, back to it. I use the black pack from Yak Attack. I got all my boxes in there. Everything seems to be good. I got 6 rod holders on that. You can add at least 3 more here. I'm probably going to do that eventually. I just, so got 3 of those, 3 there, and then obviously 1 there. So I'll carry about 7 rods with me any given day. It does get a little cumbersome when you're trying to switch back and forth, especially if you're junk fishing or like me, you have no idea what you're doing ever, so you're constantly switching everything up. So it does make it a little cumbersome there, because you're constantly moving back and forth, and but it is what it is. You can carry 7 rods with you, which hopefully at that point you don't have to do too much retying and all that kind of stuff. So then I have my Yak Attack flag pole there and light. And I did go with the Burley Pro rudder upgrade, or the steering cable upgrade. I have the stock rudder, as you can see. For the native Titan 12 and 13, there is a bit of an issue with water getting onto the deck and water getting into the hull. The 2 fixes that we've that have kind of been popular. One, there's a gasket that goes on the newer model of the Titan that will stop the water from pooling. It stops it from pooling in here in this little cutout. And make sure you might want to silicone the ends of the edges of those, just to make sure that water doesn't come in through the lines. The other is there's a hatch underneath. You can kind of see the hatch here. I haven't fixed it yet, just because I usually don't get too much water in there, but you can replace that hatch or kind of silicone seal it, and you're good to go. You're not going to have any water coming through. So I haven't done it yet. It's an easy fix. I just haven't done it. I haven't had too much issue with water coming in as long as I have that gasket in there. So, but that's kind of it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments section below. I will definitely check those out and respond to any and all questions and give you the answers if I can. This has been a fantastic kayak. Before the Titan 12, I was in a Slayer Propel 10, which obviously was a tiny little micro boat for me. Just wasn't big enough at all, and it wasn't fast. It was just a burden. So this boat has been great for me. I haven't had many issues with it. You know, nothing's perfect, so don't think that just because you're spending a premium price for this kayak, that's the definition of a boat, is break out another 1,000. So don't think that you're not going to have to fix anything. Don't think that you're not going to have to tinker with anything. The boat is great. It is a fantastic boat, and 95% of the time I get on the water, I get off the water, and I don't have any issues. If you join some of the groups on Facebook, you know, the Native Watercraft Owner's Guide, you're going to see everybody that has owned a Native Watercraft and has a problem is going to post on that group. So think about the 2 posts that you see a day. There are thousands, tens of thousands of these kayaks out there each day, and everybody is using them. So think about that on a scale. Like your one little issue, I promise you, can be fixed well, and the warranty on the hull is lifetime. The warranty on the drive is 2 years, and honestly, I've never had anybody with better customer service than Native. They are manufactured here in North Carolina, which is convenient for me because it's about 2 hours away, but you're not going to find better customer service. I mean, get yourself a good, reliable dealer and purchase through them. They'll be able to get you any replacement parts that you need, any of the little screws, any of the little, whatever it might be. Just don't freak out if something breaks. It's normal. It's going to happen. It's wear and tear. These are plastic. At the end of the day, it's a plastic boat. You know, what do you expect? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you if you were kind of on the fence between this boat and another one, or if you were looking for a quick little fix on something. Drop me a comment down below if you have any questions. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll have some more content for you soon. This is Graham with Hambone Fishing. Take it easy.